Have you ever heard the phrase, be careful what you wish for? Well, I think all of these people who are pro socialism should be careful what they wish for. I mean, all of these people that are, saying we need socialism wouldn't last a day in China, wouldn't last a day in North Korea, wouldn't last a day in Cuba, wouldn't last a day in Venezuela. All these places where communism is going on, these people wouldn't last. I mean, freaking Venezuela didn't even see LGBT people as freaking people. Freaking Cuba would lock up LGBT people. So all these people that think like, oh, the US is so racist, they're so against, LGBT, they're against this, or we need to be communist. Like, these people wouldn't last a day in a communist country. The reason why you're able to say all these things that you're saying, oh, we need to be communist, we need to be, socialist, we need to be this, we need to be that. The reason why they get away with it is because they're living in a free country. That's the reason why they get away with it. But people don't realize, like, what they're even saying. They're just being useful idiots. I mean, these people don't even know, like, Karl Marx, he was actually pro-gun. Like, he wanted the people to have guns for a period of time. The reason he wanted people to have guns, the average person to have guns, was so he could, manipulate these people and overthrow the opposing political party. And as soon as that opposing political party was overthrown by these useful idiots, he took away the guns. He confiscated the guns. So he basically, socialism, like, the way they lead people is like manipulation. It's deception. It's like, okay, here, you can have all these rights. You can have all these rights. And people are like, yay, we have rights. Yay, we can do whatever we want. We can have, we could read these perverted stories to kids. We could do this. We can do that. Like, they're giving everybody these rights. So these people will fight against their political opponents. But as soon as the political opponents are beaten, they take those rights away. It's deception. It's lies. Like, these people are being useful idiots. That's what's going on. People have no clue, like, that they're being deceived, they're being lied to, they're just being used. And they're promoting all this stuff. They're basically crying out for their own freaking enslavement. Like, they're literally begging for their own enslavement. Because they're just going along with, what they're saying, because they got a little bit of rights. Now they're like, oh, attack the other side. It's just a well-used, tactic in their playbook. You give a certain group rights, then they do whatever you say. You tell them to attack the opposing party, and that's what they do. As soon as they overthrow the opposing party, they don't need you anymore. They take your rights. And what happened in Venezuela? What happens in Cuba? You think you could talk all this? Like, I wouldn't even be able to say what I'm saying now. You wouldn't be able to say what you're saying now. Because anybody that goes against what the government says is going to jail. That's not the way it is in the US, but it can come to that. If you're voting, if you're going along with what they're telling you to do, if because they gave you a little bit of rights, you really think like, oh, they're on your side. No, they're not on your side. I'll tell you that. Go to Argentina. Go to Cuba. Go to North Korea. Go to China. You're not going to have the same rights. It's not going to be what you think it is. It's a freaking fairy tale. That's not socialism. Socialism, they say, oh, everybody's equal. How is everybody equal? If the poor are not equal to the rich, how is that equal? Maybe they have everybody else like, oh, well, you have to allow them to exist and this and that and this and that. You guys have to be equal. Nobody rises to the top. Except us. We can do whatever we want. We can go have fun, We could go fly our planes for 5 miles away. But you guys, you have rations. You can't drive so far. Social credit system. Oh, you don't have enough points. You don't have access to your money. It's going to be equal for the poor people, but it's not going to be, we're all going to be equally poor. That's all it is. It shouldn't be called socialism. It should be called PoorPeopleism, because poor people are it's going to be, we're all going to be poor together. That's all it is PoorPeopleism, because the rich are still going to do whatever they want and control everything. They even say it themselves. The poor are going to own nothing and they're going to be happy. That's what they say. And they're going to own everything. With the flick of a switch, they could cut off your car. With a flick of a switch, they could cut off your bank account. Actually, maybe it's just a tap of the screen. It's technology now. You just tap the screen. But that's what they're saying. They're going to be able to do whatever they want. They're exempt from all their own from the poor people's rules. So what you think is socialism is PoorPeopleism. We could all be poor together if you keep agreeing, because they gave you a little bit of rights. They made you feel special. They made you feel like, oh, they care for us. No, they don't. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think socialism is really PoorPeopleism, and we are all going to be screwed once they take over and use these useful idiots to overthrow the people who want their God-given rights and sovereignty and freedom? Like, they're literally getting these people to attack people who just want freedom. We just want to be free. We want to walk. We want our God-given rights, our sovereignty. We don't want to be like slaves. That's it. We just don't want to be slaves. Just leave us alone. Let us live our lives. That's all we want. Just leave us alone and let us live our lives. That's all we want. And people like us are now being seen as domestic terrorists because we want to be left alone. We just want to live our lives. We don't want all these rules and regulations, and oh my goodness. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good one, and let us pray that this doesn't happen to us. What happened to Argentina, where people are starving to death. Thanks for watching. Take care.